All right, here I am. Mic's working. I'm going to introduce you to Atoshell. So, a little while ago, I made a video on my coding agent loop tool, it was just a Ralph loop tool, essentially. It was, I call it Goldfish because it did a task and then kind of wipes its memory and or a new instance is spun up kind of technically, and then it's kind of like wiping the context of an agent and then having it do the next task. Online, kind of being famously called a Ralph loop after Ralph Wiggum for some reason. But essentially, what it is, you have a backlog of tasks, you point your Ralph loop at it on a little bash script, takes the task, feeds it to an agent, agent does the task, removes the ticket or whatever it needs to do, marks it as done, and then spins up a new one, takes the next ticket. Once they're all done, it's done, it closes. And so, what that allows you to do is kind of have your agents just chew through a big kind of large backlog of tasks instead of needing to constantly kind of be there. Obviously, that's dangerous in some sense, right? When you're editing a real code base, sometimes it could be dangerous, but we're not pushing any of this, right? We're making commits, we're making PRs, then a human goes through it, but it's a nice way to kind of chew through an entire, like I said, a backlog of minor issues, tickets, or even larger projects, which I showed in my previous video. However, the problem with that is I saw a lot of people using just like JSON files, but like ugly JSON files to contain their Ralph loop tickets. It would have, here's a ticket, here's, I don't know, a little bit of context, and is it complete or not? I think it was ticket, acceptance criteria, like ticket information, acceptance criteria, and then is it complete or not? And I thought, I already use a ticket system. So when I did my original Goldfish Ralph loop, I pointed it at GitHub, a project board. And it was a little fiddly to get that working, but I pulled all the tickets down. I can loop through them. I can tag them, label them, move them, comment on them. So I actually ended up turning that tool into a bot, right, that would then be able to comment. A bot app, essentially, inside of GitHub that would be able to comment and kind of act on its own. Then I realized I want to own each part of this end-to-end development kind of agentic cycle. And so I built a CLI tool ticket manager because it's nice and easy, and it was something fun to do. This is a tool that now I will have on every one of my personal projects. It's a way for me to be able to take notes about tasks I want to do in the future. And I can do it right here inside of the project instead of leaving to go somewhere else, to a Fizzyboard, to Jira, to ClickUp, or any other awful service. Fizzy's not so bad, but the other ones are. And I'm not a fan of them. They're very project managery. They're very awkward. They're expensive. They can be very expensive. They just have a lot of stuff I don't need or want. And so having a CLI tool does two things. One, allows me to stay in the terminal and access all of my tasks and manage it very quickly and easily. But it also is agentic first. A CLI tool is perfect for agents. A CLI tool with an agent documentation like we have right here. We have the README for humans, we have the agent for agents, and they'll know exactly how to use this tool and what should be done with it just by ingesting that. And so this is now a middle part, right? There's the ingestion of what project or what tasks kind of do we want to get done? What proof of concept do we want to build? We'll break that down. We'll put it into tickets. Then we point our Ralph loop at the ticket board, and it can kind of handle assigning that to itself, working on it, moving it out, tagging it, marking it as complete, right? Picking up the next one. All within the command line, right? And so yeah, let's do a little demo of it. This is something that I will use personally as well as a human, but like I said, it also focused on agentic first approach. So there's a couple of things that I've added just for that. So for example, you can do the command, Atoshell, or you can do it as Ato, but if we just do Atoshell, show board, let's show what the board looks like. Hey, that is the board. Ato show board, let's do with the done column there. All right, so actually you can see all of my done tickets for this project, all of the reads. That was notes for me. I made one of those for each file. I mentioned this was obviously this is for an agentic kind of coding loop. Obviously this was heavily built by an AI, by coding agents. But I did promise to myself that I wouldn't release this open source like I have done without looking at every single line of code. For one, I wanted to understand it. I haven't written much much bash in my time. I've done little scripts here and there, but this was a full tool. I've never built anything like this before, and so it was a lot of fun learning that. And reading through allowed me to do it. I was able to ask questions on specific parts of the code base that I didn't understand and learn new things. It was great. But also I am incredibly pedantic about my code and the spacing and comments and things like that. And so, yeah, very frustrating to work with, but I try to fight that in my day-to-day. When a project is something that I own by myself, I like to make sure it's all neat and tidy and organized and consistent. And so I've done that. So I went through every single file, and it's like 8,000 lines of code total, but we did it. So those are all my marked tasks complete, right? We can do show, let's do Atoshell. Let's look at read init, right? So 12, read init, that was it. It's just got a name, size, medium, priority P2. Why? Because those are just the defaults. Although I did see one, Atoshell board again. What is this audit legacy session? What is Atoshell 46? I don't remember this one. Audit legacy session endpoints for deprecation. Identify all endpoints that still use old session cookie auth model. I think this is all right, I see what this is. This is Atto delete 46. This was, and we'll confirm that. And we'll go back and show it doesn't exist. We'll show the board doesn't exist. Okay. What that was is that was me using an example. I was testing this tool earlier. You can do Atto add, and we'll do Atto add. We'll just add a title. This is a test. And it will ask for a description. We're okay for a description. Is it a bug, feature, or task? It's yeah, we'll leave it as default task. We'll leave this as a P0. We'll put it as an XL. And we'll put it as in progress. Oh, I'm not allowed to type in progress. You can only do that normally. And let's say it's front end. No, let's say it's back end and it's cloud. All right, dependencies. Does it depend on any other ticket? It does not. And so now we have the ticket there. So Atoshell 47. And then we go back end cloud, P0, XL, in progress ticket. So we can do Atto move. Let's do Atto move 47 to ready. Let's do it in the ready queue. How about we do Atto move 47 to done, which we can also put as number 5 because it is the Atoshell board, the column number, right? It's not showing there right now, but if we show all of the done tickets, then it's there, number 5. And then we can do Atto move. We'll move it back 47 back to ready. And Atoshell board. There we are. Actually, that works. You can see I spelled that wrong, but it still works because I added that typo in because I make it all the time. So I made it as an alias. Don't judge me. All right, so we've got a little board. We can move tickets behind, and we can add some tickets. All very nice. We can do Atto add. We can stream tickets. So we can add lots of them. It'll just keep asking for us. But even better than that, we can do stream tickets and make it simple. So it's just going to ask for titles. We're going to say test 1, test 2, test 7. That'll confuse people. And then we'll just leave that one empty. And we do Atoshell board. We're going to see our tests. Let's do Atto delete. We'll do 48, 49, and 50. There we go. And we'll delete them. Actually, no, we won't delete that, and we won't delete that. Let's see. Hey, look, it's deleted. Then we're going to do Atto delete. Oh, what if we do yes, and then we 48 not found, but did it delete the other ones? It didn't. It broke out of that. Probably that there should be a notification in there, but I think it was pretty obvious that that wasn't found. It probably would have deleted all of them up to that and then failed at that point. Probably it should have said didn't continue, like which ones it deleted. Now, maybe, you know what? Maybe let's try this one. Let's do auto delete 49. And then we'll do, oh, you know what? No, auto add. Let's do the auto add. And we'll do test again, test 4, test 5, test 6. And we'll do it like that. Auto show board. What I want to do is let's test. Oh, you can see when there's a lot of tickets, it'll show one more as well. So we can do auto show board all, and it'll show all of them. So let's delete 53. Auto delete 53. Yes. So we don't need to confirm. And then auto show board. Let's do auto delete 51. That's a long number. That's a big number. 51, 52, 53, 54. And we'll see where it fails. And we'll do the yes, so I don't have to confirm every time. So it does. It just breaks on the ticket that it doesn't find and then doesn't delete the rest. Instead of moving on and deleting all of them, which I think it should do. Maybe that's something, maybe that's a minor change I can just make right now. Like that, delete rest of ticks. I'll make a note of that. That's fair. Nice. Auto show board again. And we'll do auto delete 50, 54. All right, great. Oh, yes. Now we're going to do an import. So an import can happen for a bunch of different reasons, mainly to help agents import a lot of tickets because they're going to be going up to an LLM, asking it to create tickets anyway. You can ask for a specific format, put it into a JSON file, and then you'll see when you install this, when you initialize it, so obviously you can curl it, you install it, you uninstall it, whatever. When you're in it, inside of a project, you're going to get this Atoshell file and these 4 files. Backlog is tickets that the agents won't look at. That's for me anyway. A queue, these are ready tickets and in progress tickets. That's the current queue. Then there is archive, which archived tickets, it's done tickets, completed, but also in review. So if a ticket is in review, it's in the archive, and if it's done, it's still in the archive. That separation came about for very specific reasons, but I think it makes a lot of sense. The config environments where you can see, oh yeah, you can name the 5 things, the username, the priorities, you can name your sizes, you can name the tasks, and then this budget, which we'll come back to in a minute. Inside of archive, somewhere in here, yes, the next ID. So we need to also store the next ID because we need to know which number to move on from because we can delete certain tickets, right? And so you could check all of the tickets every time, but then you're also going to be creating numbers of tickets behind other numbers. It's just an awkward thing. So you just keep a little tracker in there as well. It's only one little integer, so we're all good. All right, but what you can do is inside of the Atoshell example, it's going to show us this import JSON. This is kind of the structure of some tickets. So we'll do auto add from JSON and then the path, which is .atoshell.example / what is it, import example.json, and it should pull all of those in. It did. We'll do auto show board. Let's see what it looks like now. There we go. We got 1 in the backlog and 4 in the ready queue. Is that correct? Backlog. This one didn't have anything, so it should have gone straight into the ready queue. It did. And this one is, yeah, it's going to default. So none of these have statuses, so they default. This one, priorities, sizes are all different. So let's do some other things. Let's use some filters. We can do auto list, which is just going to list all of the kind of ready tickets by default, but we can do auto list. Let's do size L. All right, that's the size. Auto list mine. I don't have anything assigned to me yet. So what we'll do is we'll take a ticket. Let's take that large ticket, 57. 57. So I've taken that. So it's currently assigned to Alice and Bob. So actually it's not going to let me take it unless I use force to override it. So let's not do that. We won't take their ticket. We'll do auto take. What other tickets do we have up here? Let's do auto take 58. And we took it. All right, so now I'm accountable. So now we do auto list mine, see all of my current tickets. Oh, it did take this one. It added this one anyway. Because it was in progress, it allowed me to do it. But if this was if this was in archive, it wouldn't have allowed me to do that. But I'm going to take a note of that anyway. Added me on take with other users. I think it shouldn't do that. I don't think it should do that by default. I think it should have warned me, and then it shouldn't have added me. Just little tweaks that we're finding here. But that's the list of my tickets, and we can do this for everything, right? We can do Atto list, priority, and we'll do P0. What are the really important tickets? Okay, those ones. 55 and 47. We can what else can we do from here? We can do, let's do Atto list blockers. Because we can Atto list all of the different columns. We can do Atto list backlog. We can do Atto list done. Right? Different scopes. Atto list archive, which is live archive. List archive, which is ready tickets and done tickets. In review and done, but it looks like Atoshell board there aren't any in review. Let's do Atto move 57 to 4. So now it's in review. We can prove it there. And then if we archive, we'll see the in review ticket at the top. So this is like the scope, right, of the Atto list. New Atto list blockers. Is there anything blocking anything else? There isn't. Okay, so let's do Atto edit. Well, Atto edit. Let's do ticket number. Let's do Atoshell board again so we can see what we're working with. Atto edit 58. It's in progress, so we don't want to do that. So 56. And we'll do depends, and it depends on 55. All right, dependencies added. Now we do Atto list blockers, and look at that. It's showing 55, blocking 56. So Atto show 56, and it shows right there. It depends on 55. It's blocked by 55. What about if we do this? We go back up here and we swap the numbers around. So now they depend on each other. Hey, look at that. Cyclic dependency warnings. Block tickets may not resolve. So we show 56 and it says right there, depends on 55, blocking 55 and blocked by 55. I don't know why it shows depends and then also blocked by. Oh, depends is just the printout. So it probably should be moved up, way up, with the status and priority and whatnot. That's a printout issue. Depends should be up with other props. Just little things to work out before I release later tonight. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, this is kind of, so it's all working very nicely. Atoshell board. We can see that again. Let's do Atto edit, and we'll remove Atto edit 55 dependencies, and we'll clear it, right? We don't want that. So now we do Atoshell blockers, and there's just, not sure, Atto list blockers. I'm confusing my own commands. Atto list blockers, there we go. There's only one again. All right, so we've shown the add command, we've shown the import command, we've shown edit, we've shown obviously init, install, uninstall, pretty unimportant, update, pretty unimportant. We've shown take, we've shown show, we've shown move, we've shown list and all the different scopes, we've shown delete. What we haven't shown is Atto search. So let's search for front end. No results for front end. It's not searching for actual tags. I don't know if there is. I guess there is. But let's search for legacy. I know there was a ticket that said that somewhere. There we go. Audit legacy session endpoints for deprecation. It's in the backlog. What about for if we do read? Because I had a bunch of tickets with read that were already done. There we go. So we're searching. So you can search for the tickets. It'll also search comments. We haven't shown comments yet. So Atoshell comment. And we're going to comment on ticket number 58, which we've been playing with a lot. And say this is a test comment. Lol. Oops, I didn't end my quote. And so what we'll do then is Atoshell 58, and we've got a little comment down there as well. Let's do Ato comment 58. What do we want to do here? Do I delete this? Is this delete? Requires a comment number? Ah, okay. Comment delete 58 then. Ah, no, what am I talking about? It is 58 delete, but then it's the comment number. I'm being stupid. Delete number 1. There we go. Comment number 1 deleted. So you can have different, obviously, comments on comments. You just have a single queue of comments that you can work from. That's comment. Take is very interesting. So Atto take, I already showed you can take something and you can force it. But the most important, interesting thing is Atto take next. In fact, I don't think it's this because it's a scope. So you take an ID or next. Now, the reason it chose this is because it is a P0 small accountable Ian, Geek King, right? So Atto take next, what it does, in fact, Atto list also does this. It organizes everything in a specific order. And the way that it orders it is by priority and then by size, right? So more important priority ranks it higher, and then as a tiebreaker we check size. But what it also does is it checks to see also if it's already attached to you or if it's not attached to anybody. Basically, it chooses the best ticket for you, right? So if there's a ticket that nobody has, or there's a ticket that you already have and it's like it's not being worked on, it's not finished yet, it's not in the archive, it's going to show you that ticket. It's going to give you that ticket. If you're this ticket, I wasn't assigned to it before probably, but it has now assigned me to it. Or maybe was I already assigned to that? I don't think so. Maybe I think this take, it will either give you the next best ticket, but it will also make sure you are assigned to that ticket. However, there is an interesting thing that happens here with the budget that I mentioned, this budget here. So what happens is you have all of these tickets. If you have a P0 ticket, super high priority, but it's blocked by a bunch of other tickets, that kind of bloats the size of that ticket massively, right? So now it's no longer just a small ticket, very high priority. It's all of these tickets and this ticket. And so I wanted to build some kind of system of being able to say, what is the next best ticket for me to take with some kind of timeline budget, right? So currently the P0 has an infinite budget. What that means is no matter how many dependencies this P0 ticket has, all of those tickets will be moved above it because you need to get to that P0 ticket. P0s are mega important. They're blocking business, right? And so it will just move all of these tickets up. For a P1 ticket, however, I've got a budget of 3, which means it will move either one medium ticket, which is, one large ticket, which is worth 3. You can see right here, size 3. It'll move one large ticket, or 3 small tickets, or 1 small and 1 medium, or anything less than that, right? 2 small tickets above it. But if it's any more than that, it will move this ticket below of its dependencies. So you're kind of saying, if it's easy enough to get to this, move all of these above it. If it's a lot of extra work, just move it to the bottom of the queue. It's not as important as some other things we need to get to. For a P0, it's always unlimited budget. So it actually organizes when you do Atoll list. When I do Atoll list, all of them are organized with that in mind. And then when you do Atto take, it makes sure it gets you the best ticket for you in that situation. Also, if you do Atto list and we do JSON, because we are agentic friendly, right? We're agent first, Atoshell board. Does that work with JSON? I don't know why it would. Atoshell 56 JSON makes more sense than the board because you would just use list. Obviously, this works with filters and stuff as well. You can do, if we do Atto add and we do lol, we did that, and then JSON, does it? it prints it back out, but what you noticed is it's going to ask you for a bunch of stuff, right? It asks you for a bunch of stuff. When it detects that you're in a non-interactive terminal, like what an agent is going to be using, it will skip all of that stuff by default, and then just go straight to the JSON output. So basically checks if you're an agent. If you're an agent, it's going to behave differently. It's not going to ask you for things. It's going to default. It's going to give you specific code errors, like actual error codes, I mean, so that you can report back instead of just kind of human readable text errors. And also, so pretty much everything has a JSON tag on it. You will also, when it's creating tickets, it will have created by agent. And when you're assigned when you take a ticket as an agent, it will say it's taken by an agent. One thing that I have been looking at is I don't want my Ralph Loop tool to actually just be a bunch of an agent that just takes one ticket at a time. And so agent is anything. I actually want to have a manager kind of bot, an orchestrator that is taking tickets and giving it out to people so work can be done in parallel. That means that we need to be able to assign tickets not just to agent, but to agent 1, agent 2, whatever it may be. And so that is also available. If we go to, where are we going? Is it in take? Obviously we can do the force here. Also we have the help, right? So we have, if you just type Atto, you can do this, or you can do Atto help, and it'll show you all the different things and all the different aliases that we use. Because we're using Atto, which is Japanese, or we have Japanese aliases, and then we always have a cyberpunk set of aliases as well, and then just some aliases that are maybe easier to remember for certain people, such as grab. I like grab for when you want a ticket. Obviously, quiet global flags is going to suppress any decorative output, so agents can always work with the global flag, and then with the global quiet flag. Then we can do Atto add help as well, and all of these are basically going to print out these comments at the top. It's going to print all of those out for us, so you can read all of the different things, filters and such, and tags that you can give things. We already did show, edit. We got obviously help. We got dependencies, add, remove, clear, add a ticket, accountable. You can put agent, yeah, or it'll do it automatically. But yeah, just I'm trying to think, where exactly does that happen, where we can essentially have agents take a ticket and then do it like here. I'm taking this ticket as somebody else. Maybe it's in here and it's not documented, which is something I'll note down as well and work on that quickly before I release. But essentially we're good to go. We have a full test suite. So we've got everything broken down here. Migrations don't really need to be here anymore. I guess we'll keep them for now. They're just empty. We have these fixtures, which are some of these tickets to work with, but all of these unit tests for all of the different things that are checked every time on deploy and whatnot. So pretty nice setup. I think personally, I really like using it. It's why I built it for myself, but I also built it with agent first, kind of in mind, because I want my Ralph Loop to be able to rely on this. And so this is one part of my 3-part puzzle for end-to-end development. Yeah, hope you, agentic development, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can go curl it right now. It's on GitHub, on my GitHub, King Cloud. Yeah. Hopefully you find this interesting. I think it's a cool little tool in the terminal. I didn't even check if something like this already existed because I wanted to own all the different pieces of this, and I wanted it to be, like say, very agentic focused. I wanted it to be very much about feeding my personal Ralph loop, but also being usable in a more generic manner. Yeah, I think it's kind of all coming together. Some things that I kind of did. I did move for human. I did take for humans because Move you could have just gotten with by editing and editing the status essentially, and take you can just get by taking the top item in the list, right? That doesn't belong to anybody else, which so you can filter that out, and then I just saw some human things, and then I did things for agents specifically as well, such as the importing from JSON, so it's easier for an agent to call an LLM, get a bunch of tickets, and just force them all in instead of trying to do it one at a time. You just print it to a file and then upload that. So yeah, I think it hits kind of both targets, I think, pretty well. If you have anything that you'd like to add to it, open source, PR would not be unwelcome. But yeah, I think it's pretty much I think it's in a decent spot to release. I'm gonna be pushing this out as the 1.0.0 build. Thanks for watching. That's Atoshell. Bye.